This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so
Okay,
my name is Funny, and I have around I can say 19 or 18 years of experience, and I work as a solution architect focusing on the cloud and enterprise monitoring solutions. And
okay,
I can say that I was teaching AWS from last 5 years, roughly 4.5 to 5 years.
okay,
Okay, and coming to the background, I started as a system administrator way back in 2003, then changed multiple roles, currently working as a solution architect. Okay, so want to
okay.
understand what you're currently working on and any specific reason you're looking for the sessions.
Yeah. Actually, currently I'm working on the RPEC International. It's the global IT company, and
Mm-hmm.
now recently they have launched the DevOps and some project of AWS.
Mm-hmm.
So just I was planning to switching the new company and knowledge about the AWS and DevOps. So I just little bit confused which one first we are prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So just I decided. So first we need to learn AWS. So that's why I'm just looking up the some other place also for
Mm-hmm.
demo and the online classes related to how to. Actually, I don't know exactly what is the AWS. I just little bit know that just storage, just like some storage block, and create the
Mm-hmm.
bucket and little bit, just little bit information. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm learn about some more AWS to achieve new and better company and a good opportunity to in future.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me give a little background where. Okay, let me know when you're able to see my screen. Can you
Yeah.
see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, so what we'll try to do is we'll try to give a brief background about a little history of AWS. Okay,
Okay.
where it started and how long it has been in the market. Just give an overview. Then we'll discuss about what is a cloud means and how it will help companies. Okay, and what is the purpose of why people are moving to cloud? What is the main reason they're moving to cloud? Then we'll discuss about some cloud operating models.
Okay.
Then we'll discuss about what are the functionalities or what is the courseware we cover. Okay, so it will take roughly
Okay.
20-25 minutes for me to cover these topics. So feel free to ask me if you have any questions at any point of time. Okay,
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
so AWS is one of the very oldest cloud in the market, and I can say that it started in the year 2006. So Amazon has started building their own website, Amazon.com, way back in 1996, and over a period of 10 years, they felt
Mhm.
that they have gained a new competence where they can offer IT as a service or infrastructure as a service, or I can call it as web applications as a service to the market. So they started AWS in 2006 with few services. Okay,
Okay.
currently, in the last for 15 years, it's a 15-year journey they have. In the 15 years from when they released, it's around less than 10 products they released. Currently, they are having 200 plus products
Okay.
with full functionality across the globe. So you name the product they have in the cloud portfolio. So at the same time, they also have
Okay.
something called as marketplace. If you don't have some products in the which you require or they're in your AWS cloud, you can also purchase from the marketplace. That's a unique advantage where AWS has. Now, why people are moving to cloud, or what is the requirement of a cloud? Okay, so when you say any cloud is nothing but renting your infrastructure or a data center on a lease basis, or a service basis. For example, when you want to purchase some pizza, you don't bake the pizza completely yourself when you order from the market. In the similar way, you order the IT infrastructure from the market, so on a on-demand basis. There are 5 major characteristics or advantages of moving to the cloud. I can say that the first one is being the agility.
Okay.
So when you want to set up your own data center, it typically takes around 6 to 8 months of the cycle. You need to order the hardware, then you need to set up the space, you need to set up the racks, then get the power, cooling, then hire the engineers, build the data center, and then bring it operational. It typically takes 6 to 8 months of time. Okay, by the time you're bringing the data center and your servers into the market, your business is changing so rapidly. So I don't need to wait for 10 months to start my business. So my core business is something else, whereas I'm spending my time on the IT infrastructure. So instead of spending months and months on the IT infrastructure, you can lease them, or you can pay them or hire them on demand basis.
Okay.
So that your infrastructure will be ready right now with few clicks. So you don't need to spend 10 hours or 20 hours. With a web page, I can order 100 servers, 1000 servers within just a few clicks. Okay. The second being the cost advantage. So most of the things will start with the cost as the background. So when I want to build my data center, I need to spend a lot of money to set up the data center, base data center. Then I need to hire people to set up the data center. Then I need to have the right skill set to maintain it on a proper basis, regular basis. Whereas with the AWS or any cloud provider, I can say it is pay as you go model. So you pay for what you're using. For example, today I'm using 10 servers, I pay for 10 servers. Tomorrow I'm using only one server, I pay only for one server. It's just as a on consumption basis.
Okay.
Okay, the third thing you have advantage when you move to cloud is the global footprint. So when you are having a business across the globe, okay, I want some data centers in the Europe, some data centers in the US, some data centers in I can say Asia Pac. So I don't need to set up multiple data center multiple places. So with the cloud, I have everything ready made. I can start using them on demand without any waiting. Okay. So go global in minutes. I can just go to the global in minutes instead of waiting for 3 years, 4 years.
Okay. You mean we need to create any one server at one time, at a time in the cloud?
No, for example, I want something in the northern Europe because I'm starting my business in the Europe region. Okay, I'm starting another business in the India. Okay, I'm starting another business in US. So I don't want to go there and set up a data center separately, right?
Right.
So if I want to set up data centers everywhere, then how much time it will take for me to set up the data centers? It take a long time. Whereas in the AWS cloud, they are having around 25 plus regions. So I can just start my data center with a few clicks. So I don't need to wait for 8 months for every data center. So I have 25 plus locations with the data centers available with a click. Okay. The next one being the elasticity. So now the business are too demanding and too changing. For example, I'm running a campaign in the weekend. Okay, I require more compute power because I'm expecting more people. Okay, I can't simply increase the servers when I have on-premises because I need to procure them again and keep them ready. Whereas in the cloud, for just 2 days, I can have 100 servers. Once my job is done, I can decommission them without any additional charges.
Okay.
So I just have to pay what I'm using, and I can spin up as many as required when I want it. So elasticity becomes the next criteria when you're trying to move to cloud. Okay, and I can say all these things you can do as a self-service. You don't need to depend on somebody else to do the job. So I'm getting a self-service portal where you can log in, you can do the job automatically. Okay, with a little training.
Job means what? Job means what? Job means what?
It can be spinning up a server, it can be a storage, it can be a compute. I can do on my own. I don't need to depend on some other third party to do the job.
Okay.
Self-service portal. Okay, so these are the 5 major characteristics when we're trying to expect anything from the cloud. Okay. Now, when you're trying to see the cloud, okay, generally people typically say IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS. So what is that? What they mean? So in the cloud, there are three operating models: infrastructure as a service,
Hmm.
we call it as IaaS; platform as a service, we call it as PaaS; and third one, software as a service, SaaS.
Okay.
So how they are different and what is that definition they call it as? So when you have your own data center, so let's assume I'm setting in my own data center. Okay, I need to
Okay.
set up around 7 different layers. If this is my own data center which I'm trying to set up, I need to set up around 7 different layers. The first layer being the data center facilities. So when I have my own
Okay.
data center, I need to set up the space, power, cooling, racks,
Hmm.
etc. Okay, that's the first layer I need to set up. The second layer I need to set up is the
Okay.
physical infrastructure. Means I need to purchase a Dell hardware or IBM hardware or an type hardware. I need to purchase every hardware.
Hmm.
Then the next layer we need to set up is the virtualization layer. So today's the hardware is too powerful. I can get a 100 GB memory system with 16 CPUs. I want to purchase it, but you don't have any applications which require so much of memory power or CPU power. So where I will divide them into multiple parts and try to run my operating systems. We call it as the virtualization layer.
Okay.
So we have two vendors in the market which are very popular. One is Microsoft, other one is VMware. So you need to have that VMware virtualization layer set up and then start using the actual hardware in a virtualized way. Then on top of that, you need to maintain your operating systems, OS, like Linux OS, Windows OS. I need to set up the OS and start using the OS. Then I need to
Okay.
start my applications. The application can be a web application or it can be a database application. So set up
Hmm.
the applications, whatever is required, and start using the application. Then on top of it, I need to maintain my data. So for example, if it is a web, I will maintain my code. If it is DB, I will maintain my tables. Okay, I need to make
Okay.
sure that data is consistent, available, reliable. I need to make sure data is highly available. Then finally, we have something called as identities. So to access all these things, we require username and passwords to maintain the identities. So these are the 7 different
Okay.
layers we need to set up our own when you have your own data center. Okay, now when you move to the cloud, okay,
Okay.
and you're utilizing the
Hmm.
services, the infrastructure as a services model, the bottom the bottom 3 layers will be taken care by the cloud provider. Okay, the cloud
Okay.
provider or the cloud responsibility. So I don't need to set up a data center space, I don't need to set up the physical hardware, or I don't need to set up the virtualization layer. I start
Okay.
only
It
from the
means
OS and above.
okay. Okay. Okay.
So I have control, or my responsibility is to maintain anything above OS. Okay, that's the
Okay.
uh, I can say user responsibility or customer responsibility. Okay, now the
Okay.
second model, platform as a service. If I take the platform as a service,
Hmm.
the bottom 5 layers will be taken care by the cloud provider. So up to this part will be taken care by the cloud provider or cloud responsibility. Okay, I just maintain the top 2 layers. So I just maintain my data and my identities.
Okay.
That's my responsibility or customer responsibility. So whereas in the third model, SaaS, software as a service, I just need to maintain the identities. That's the SaaS. So the level of engagement or the level of maintenance you need to do on the infra side is reducing when you move from on-premise to the infrastructure as a service to the platform as a service to the software as a service.
Okay.
Now with this new roles, with
Nice.
the new
Okay.
how the things are happening, now people are not working in just one layer. Previously, if I have OS layer, I used to have Windows admins and Linux admins. Then I used to have DB admins, then I have web admins, then I have the identity admins. Now with the cloud coming into picture, everything is being converted into one single role. That's a cloud administrator. So you're not just working on one area, you're working on multiple areas,
Okay.
and you're trying to build the architecture to use multiple areas. So the scope of role has changed
Okay.
from just single
Okay.
layer to multi-layer. Okay.
Okay.
Now coming to the AWS. So AWS offers most of the services. As I said, they're having around 200 plus services now. And when you're trying to learn the cloud, there are three different paths. You can start with the cloud. The first being the practitioner, which is a basic certification, where you need to just understand about what different services you have and what are the different things you have, and you can just start writing the practitioner certification. Okay. Then the second is the associate level certifications, which will be a little deeper, which will be a plus level 200 to 300 level area, where you need to understand deep dive of each product and deep dive of each function. Okay, so it's more of a 200 to 300 level. Then you have a professional level certification, which is a level 400, where you have understanding about architecture and multiple products at a time. You need to understand how they interact with each other. And then you can write the professionals. Okay, then you have the specialty certifications. For example, I'm very interested in big data, or I'm interested in networking, or I'm interested in DevOps. You have the specialty certifications, which is a specific area with level 400. Okay, so these are the four different paths you have, and if you are a very basic guy, you can start either practitioner or associate level. Okay, and our courseware is focused on cloud practitioner and cloud architect at the associate level. Okay. So we'll be, as a part of the courseware, we're covering these two areas, cloud architect and the cloud practitioner level. Okay, which is covering around 25 plus services. Okay, so we'll start with something called as EC2. I mean, to make it realized, we'll start with something called as compute, storage, network, identities. Then we'll discuss about monitoring, automation. Then we'll discuss about some platform services. If I take the high level thing, and in this one, each one you have subcomponents. EC2. Okay, EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. So we'll discuss about how to set up a virtual machine or a EC2 instance, how to do automation there, how you want to monitor that, how you want to patch that. We'll discuss about EC2 in detail. Okay. Then at the same time, we have something called as load balancers in the same place. We'll discuss how to set up a load balancer, what are the different types of load balancers. Then we have something called as auto scaling. So all these things will come under compute. Then in the similar way, storage, we have something called as S3, which is simple storage service. EBS, Elastic Block Storage. Then you have Glacier. So we'll discuss about the storage services. Then the similar way network, we discuss about VPC. Identities, we discuss about IAM. So we discussed around 25 plus services across the AWS, which will help you to cover the cloud architect or the cloud practitioner level. So that's what we cover across these areas. As I said, it will be 25 plus services, plus or minus 1 or 2, which are based on the new editions. I'll try to cover them. So AWS changes their service every 6 months. So the last change happened in the month of October or November last year. So they may change next time in the month of June, July. I have not seen the dates. So generally change every 6 months. They
Okay,
keep on adding.
so this changes is little bit or major changes?
They release new features. Okay, for example, they released a feature in January. They include that in the November certifications. For example, previously
Okay,
I'm doing a job A way. Now they released B way. The B way will be included in the exams in the November exams if they release in January.
okay,
So you can expect a 20-25% variance every time in the exams compared to standards.
okay.
Any questions?
Yeah, actually, the cloud system and AWS service, they are both are different or as the same.
Mm, Can you repeat the question once again? I don't understand.
Pardon?
I don't understand.
Actually, what I'm saying, the cloud. You mentioned the first your point, cloud partitions and the eligibility cost, global. So that is
Yes.
included in AWS.
Yeah, cloud. This is more of a general term where it may be same for whether it's Azure or AWS or to GCP.
Yeah, okay. Just yeah, okay. This I'm asking you. It is the same, just like Azure. Azure also they provide the elasticity, self-service, and auto-generate the
Plus or
server.
minus 5%, you have everything. So for
Okay,
example,
okay.
cost in AWS may be 50% cheaper than AWS. Sorry, Azure.
Mhm.
Sometimes global footprint, Azure has 25 plus regions. Azure may have only 10 plus regions.
Okay,
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 numbers and those things will change, but the functionalities of the feature wise they may remain the same.
okay, okay, okay. Fine. So you have in your class, so you have mentioned the uh, some features in AWS service, just simple storage service, glass rich storage, auto scanning,
Mhm.
identity and access management. Yeah, you already virtual private cloud. Okay, no issue.
Okay, so we'll be covering in a similar way the monitoring, which is called as CloudWatch.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have automation, which we call it as SSM, Simple Systems Manager. In the platform, we have something called as Elastic Stack, Cloud Formation, RDS. Then we have something called as what else we have? I'm covering another 3-4 services. I don't recollect on top of the head. Okay, but I'll be covering to have your cloud solution architect assess in the practitioner exams to be covered. Okay. Any questions? Hello, so Sadish, you're on mute, Sadish, if you're speaking by chance.